Hello everyone, this is Romario with a new Premodern video. And as always, before we start, if you like Premodern, if you like the content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave your comments below. For this video, for sure, I would like some suggestions. Is an old favorite of mine for this bi-weekly league. I was going to say this weekly league, but for this bi-weekly league, I'll be playing an old favorite of mine. I'll be playing Pox. And just beforehand, I would like to apologize if I've heard they want to say the word Pox because of my accent. Sometimes it sounds like I'm saying box, and I won't be talking about square pieces of cardboard. We'll be talking about rectangle piece of cardboard. So like I said, this is an old favorite of mine, and there were some cards that I've been itching to try to see if they can still be played in Premodern. I built a deck kind of like the old way that it used to be built, 20 lands, 40 spells. At least that's when I was playing Magic back in the 90s. That's how most of the decks we used to play, like around this time, or like around like 4th edition standard. I still remember the first Goblins deck I played was like 20 mountains and 40 spells. There was like a ratio of like creatures and spells, and most of the decks were built like this as far as I could remember. So I tried to do the same thing here, and because I thought it was the right number. The whole deck operates like in a very low casting cost. Like it tops out at basically 3 mana, right? There's obviously there's an Unmask for 4, but it's a free spell. Most times you won't be using the real casting cost, you'll be using the alt casting cost. So 20 lands, and we can argue that Wasteland is not really a land, it's more like of a spell, but so this is how I decided to structure the deck. So 12 swamps, 4 Mishra's Factory, and 4 Wastelands. And then we do have 3 charcoal diamonds for extra mana. In testing, the card was very, very good. It allowed me to keep hands with 2 colorless mana sometimes, and if you have a charcoal diamond or a swamp in a Mishra's Factory, you can still cast some of your spells. You can't really cast the namesake of the deck, like Pox, but it still helps ramping you. And when you're sacking lands to Pox, charcoal diamond obviously doesn't get sacked. And Baubles was an idea that I had as a way to like kind of store cards after you Pox. So you could have a Bauble and a Pox, and you don't discard more cards than you have to, because one of the cards you're going to draw on the next turn, right? Curse of Scroll is just a card that it's always kind of like been very good in this type of deck. It's damage this on the board, and you're operating like very few cards in your hand too, because you are casting Pox, and most of the cards in your deck are very low casting costs. So Curse of Scroll is just a good way for you to control the board, or it's also a way to get across the finish line. Then for this card, I've got 2 Cabal Therapies, 4 Duresses, and 2 Unmask. That configuration can definitely change. Unmask, it's definitely good against blue decks because it allows you to discard and maybe cast one of your spells that can have a higher impact. Like, let's say if you're playing against Dreadnought, you have Innocent Blood or Powder Keg. You can cast a Pox off of, let's say, a Dark Ritual. And sometimes it's hard for you to cast a Duress and cast another spell on the same turn. So Unmask can kind of fill that role. And also you have Cabal Therapy. If you're flashing back, Nether Spirit and Cabal Therapy is our best buddies. Then you're playing black in a deck that's trying to do things kind of quick. So of course you're going to have Dark Rituals, and I don't care what you people say, but this is my favorite art, a Dark Ritual. Just kidding. You can have a different opinion, but I do love me some Ice Age Dark Rituals. Then again, we're playing a mono black deck. Innocent Blood is one of the best ways for you to deal with the cards like Lackey on turn 1, or a Phyrexian Dreadnought. So any faster aggro decks, you got ways to deal with the creatures early in the game. I already talked about the charcoal diamonds. Powder Keg, again, is just kind of self-explanatory, right? You're just trying to sweep as many permanents as you can. This is also very good against decks that are playing like tons of artifacts. I definitely use Powder Keg as a 2 mana Stone Rain to kill some Mox Diamonds. Chimeric Idol, that's one of the cards that I know it can be a little questionable, but I honestly think this card is pretty good in this style of deck. Obviously, dodges like Innocent Blood and Pox. It's also pretty good against cards like Wrath of God, because it's not going to be a creature on your opponent's turn. So any sorcery speed removal spell that kind of it does get hit by Vindicate, but it dodges Wrath of God, right? And And then Nether Spirit, like I mentioned, it's just kind of like a card that works with Cabal Therapy. It works with Pox, it works with Innocent Blood. It works, I mean, it's a stretch of the the term, but it has some synergy. It's also like a great blocker unless you're playing against creatures that have trample, but no, it's a pretty good blocker in general. And one of my favorite turns with this deck is like when you get to Dark Ritual a Pox and you have another Spirit in your hand and you get to discard, so making the discard cards from your hand kind of like a profitable trade, right? In the sideboard, this is definitely something that needs a little working. I try to figure out some of the cards in testing, but I don't know if I had enough matches under my belt with this deck. Coffin Purge, it was something that I wanted to try because in more contemporary Magic, you have cards that like get you like as far as graveyard hate. No, we have like cards like Surgical Extraction and Fairy Macabre and like I can't remember the other one. There's a one black that's like split second. Sorry, I'm getting old. I forget the cards. But you got things like Surgical Extraction, Cabal, Fairy Macabre, like crop rotation for Bojuka Bog. Well, in Premodern, we don't really have that. Usually graveyard hate's like on the board, so like there's no surprise. And I don't know how much that influences like the game or the card choices. I feel like against combo decks that rely on the graveyard, might be better to just let your opponent try to do their thing, and if they don't see a Phyrexian Furnace in play or a Tarmogoyf Cryptid, they might think it's safe to do something. The closest I could get to that was like Coffin Purge, and also got flashback, so you get to get 2 cards instead of just 1. Again, it's not a Surgical Extraction, but it's I don't know. I was just like, I thought it was a good idea to try to play something that's a surprise factor instead of just like having the tricks on the board, which then is not really a trick, right? Engineer Plague, that one, I think it might have been 4, might be the right number. The little bit of test that I did, decks like Elves and Goblins, or pretty much any deck that can go wide. Like I did play a couple of games against mono white Winnie type of decks. They also usually share creature types. There might be clerics, or it could be humans or knights or soldiers. I don't quite remember now, but like, so I think maybe Engineer Plague could be a 4, but for now I just kept 3. Dystopia was a card that definitely overperformed every time I cast it. Phyrexian Arena, it was just a way to kind of recoup some of the card disadvantage when you play against blue-white X decks, like any slower like blue deck, let's say a deck like Stand Still, or really just Stand Still. I think I also brought in against black and white control. So pretty much anything that's not pressuring your life total. And you might use a lot of resources early in the game, and you need to recoup the resources, because Pox sort of does that by making your opponent lose some of their resources, and you having a deck that's built to be able to not have as bad of an impact on you, right? Like we have Nether Spirits and Chimeric Idols that you don't mind casting a Pox, you're not losing any creatures. But there's also the other side where, like, if Poxy doesn't do enough, then you need to have actual like raw card advantage. And Phyrexian Arena is one way to do that. Another way would have been Skeleton Scrying, but since this deck is like so low on lands, I thought the Phyrexian Arena might be better. Again, still kind of up in the air, because there are a lot of like naturalizes and Seal of Cleansing, like floating around the format. So maybe a one-shot deal, kind of like scrying. Now I'm blanking the name of the card, but the 1 black X, exile X cards from your graveyard, lose X life, draw cards, might be a little better. Persecute, this is definitely one of those cards that I bought it in paper a while ago, like when I got back into Premodern. It was one of my favorite ones, like playing the Necro decks, like around like 5th edition when Necro got reprinted, and it was in standard. I think it's still fantastic against red decks and blue decks, if you can get it like early in the game, of course. Like, so of course we have Dark Riches in the deck. Against some of the other monocolor decks, I'm not sure if it's that great, but definitely against blue and like red, because those are tough matchups for this deck. So against a deck like Sly, if you can get a Persecute early in the game, you might have a shot. And then speaking of Sly, this is definitely something that maybe I have to consider for the future if I'm going to play this deck again. Some way to gain life. I was thinking bought a card like, you know, like rejuvenating. Is that rejuvenating? Rejuvenate Chamber. The one that has fading and you gain 2 life when you tap it. I was thinking about like Zuran Orb, but Zuran Orb, I think it was the original card that like Pox used to play back in Extended. But I don't know if this list could support Zuran Orb, but maybe something to gain life. And then the big iffy card is Nevis Disc. And to be completely honest, maybe that card should not be in the 75. I think Nevis Disc might not be a Premodern card anymore, as in not very playable. I tried this card in mono black control, and this is kind of like similar to that, but a 4 casting cost card that you have to wait a turn to activate might not be great. So I'm gonna see how it goes in this league, and then I'll you know, see how it performs. But I think that card might be the only one that's like in the chopping block here. And yeah, so let's see how it goes. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Pox is a deck that I think is pretty sweet, and I haven't seen being played very often in Premodern. So yeah, we'll see you guys for round 1. All right, so we're here for round 1. Follow my opponent. I have the right deck this time. It's happened a few times. Let's see if we can start this league with a W. All right, so I'm on the play. In this hand, I think it's keepable. I know it's just a 1-lander, but I do have some interactions for the first 2 turns. And if I draw a second land, I have the diamond that can get me to land number 3, basically. All right. Okay, so I'm going to have to give them the Duress on turn 1. Yeah, because I don't think I can beat Recurring Nightmare. All right, so we're going to get Duress on turn 1. Not ideal, but it is what it is. So Swamp, and then somebody's going to cast Duress, yes. And make sure that... Okay, yeah, they took the diamond. Makes sense. All right, and we didn't draw land number 2. Slightly regretting keeping that 1-lander. It seems like Magic Online is also like being kind of slow today. This usually means that the client's trying to communicate with the server. So that's a forest. And I think they probably just jammed the Wall of Blossoms, right? Yeah, all right. And... pretty sure my play here is just going to be Innocent Blood. Next turn, I could Cabal Therapy and a Massacre. That's in the forest. Duress. Okay. Yeah. Things haven't really changed here. All right, so they took Innocent Blood. All the roots. Okay. Land? Oh, I found a land. Okay, but I think I do have to get Massacre out of their hand. The Ranger Hermit. Well, I do have the Powder Kegs, right? So I don't think it's... okay, so they have Tempting Worm. Tempting Worm, I can put anything in play, right? It's kind of like a Eureka for... Okay. And I mean, I guess I have the Powder Kegs that can sweep up the tokens. All right. Yeah, I'll let them pay for it if they want. Let's see, if I didn't take the Recurring Nightmare, this thing would be a nightmare. And we're gonna clear all the tokens and take 1 point of damage. All right, it's a Bauble and another one of these. And I don't have to Bauble now because I kind of want to play around them having a discard spell. Yep, I take the rest. Because let's say if the card I draw off a Bauble was like what I really want. I mean, there's also this, but not a Wall of Blossoms. Okay, all right. The draw lands. I'm just gonna Bauble them now then, since it doesn't really matter. I'm not getting any extra information. And at this point, I'd rather draw a land and another spell. Oop, gotta put my triggers on the stack. All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it 1. Cool. Drew a land, which is very relevant now because I do have Curse's Scroll in play. So I'm probably gonna get smacked for 5. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason not to do it. Oh, I should have probably killed the wall of... Oh no, I'm gonna sweep the 2 drops with the Powder Keg, right? So I should put it 2. Yeah, I think I just played the land, and it's gonna be a long ways from getting my opponent down to 0, but all right, clear all the 2 drops. So now I kind of just want to draw Swamp next turn. I can Duress them first before I do anything. Yeah, I think I have to do this. Not Expector. Okay. So we're going to turn that into 3/3 plus 1 now. And the Dark Ritual is super relevant here too, because there is a chance. Oh, that's a problem for me now. Because I wanted to activate 3 Mishra's Factory. The Wall of Roots. Okay. So if I Dark Ritual, I can... Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. And then I'll make this into a 2/2 and this into a 2/2. Okay, the problem now is that they're going to be drawing 2 cards a turn, basically, right? They can block 1, they go to 11. A card like Baylot might be a problem. It's going to be really hard for me to... Oh, that would be wrong done. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so make this into a 2/2, and this one into a 2/2. Yeah, swing with both, and then whichever one they don't block, making to a 3/3. Oh, in this case, I'm just gonna, I guess, kill the monkey. I should have this up so I can see what they're searching. At least now they only grab one thing at a time, and it seems like their draws haven't been great. All right, you have my elder. Did they have to take 1 point of damage to cast that guy? And oh, that's something here. I think the play still do the same thing I did last turn. Just block both. Okay, what do I need to do here? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. It means I'm gonna have to sack 2 of them. Cabal Therapy. What do they even name? Innocent Blood? Okay, I think I would have cast Innocent Blood, but that's a fair card to name, I guess. I mean, I've also had 2 cops in the graveyard. Okay, so then I cast Wall of Blossoms and again sack to Cabal Therapy. I don't think it was a time to cast last turn, right? Because 3, I'd have to sack 2 lands. Then that means I can't activate both of them. All right, so if they don't have any creatures here, okay. Making to a 2/2 and hold on a second. So I have to use this. No, I think I have to try to get them lower life total. It was close there. I'm not really sure what was the play. Yeah, if that box had been in my hands 1 more turn, then Nether Spirit would get discarded and I basically get a free creature. Innocent Blood again. Maybe because they saw me tapping and untapping. Wall of Roots. Okay. Maybe they'll flash back a Cabal Therapy and name Nether Spirit. Okay. I guess I'll keep trucking along. I block 1, they go to 4. Definitely need to draw like a Curse Scroll so I can kind of limp my way across the finish line. Or in this case, probably a Pox does too. I am playing for Curse Scrolls, so it's possible. Withered Wretch. Okay. Okay, so they're going to discard and then eat with the Wretch. Yeah, so I think it's going to have to be Pox plus Curse Scroll now for me to be able to win this game. I'm just going to hold the land in my hand because maybe they use their Cabal Therapy. Also, if I draw a Curse Scroll, I kind of want to have a card in my hand. Yeah, Ravenous Bailout. Now that's a problem because that gets them enough life total that a card like Curse Scroll is going to be hard for me to get there. I apologize again. Like sometimes I forget in round 1 to silence my phone. Cards that don't do anything for 100. Yeah, I think if they get Bailoffs now. Oh, Genesis. Deranged Hermit. So they have another Deranged Hermit and they can grab another one. Okay, so I think I'm going to take 1 more draw step and see. And they have enough mana to cast a second Hermit, right? Oh, Spectre. Oh, like Feeder. They can also cast that. No, they didn't want to attack too. Okay, so didn't draw what I needed. Pretty close. So I don't think this card is what I want against this deck. I think I want Dystopia. Definitely want Coffin Purge. Put 3 more cards in there. I was thinking about Engineer Plague or like Nevis Disc. Put a Nevis Disc. And Persecute's not really for this deck. I think I can put an Engineer Plague. Yeah. Okay, this is, yes. I think that's a good hand. Yeah, play a Bauble and we'll pass. Kind of just need to draw Pox with this hand. Yeah, Duress. I'm just going to do this now. I have a Forest in hand. All right, now I know they're playing green. Coffin Purge is good. All right. Play the Black Diamond, a Charcoal Diamond. Someone was telling me the other day that apparently Mirage was like the set that they tried to not rebalance, but like print cards from the earlier sets that they should have done earlier. So like instead of the Moxen, they have the diamonds, and then instead of Black Lotus, they have Lyzai Diamond. I don't know how true that is, but they have a Chimeric Idol. All right, let's do this, and I have a blocker for them. All right, where's my Powder Keg? Oh, so this is not gonna work out for me, right? Because I attack for 5 and I swing for. Well, I guess I can swing for 5. No, I can only swing for 3 because Turtle taps Mishra's Factory. Oh, now they have a blocker too. And I think they know about Coffin Purge, so I think I need Dystopia here. Okay, this Coffin Purge is looking very awkward in my hand. I should just start playing Perish in the sideboard. In testing, I did have a hard time against some of the green decks, so this might be a sign. I think Dystopia, well, because Dystopia is like a slower Perish in this case. Short 1 black mana. Okay, so I think now I have to block. Well, I can't block because they're gonna blow up my Chimeric Idol. Okay, so might just be that here. I drew some sideboard cards, but not the ones I was looking for. I'm playing very cautiously. All right, so block here. Take 5. Phyrexian Plate Lord. They do have the rock and its minions. So get this back. That's going to be too slow for me. Sure. Probably even Wasteland them, I guess. But yep, no, they can just send a team. Cool. All right, so that was round 1. I think game 1 was kind of close, but game 2, yeah, the tempting worms were too much for the one Nether Spirit. All right, see you guys here for round 2. All right, so we're here for round 2. Looks like I'm gonna play again. All right, yeah, this is more poxy. Like, not sure if this Nether Spirit is gonna carry me to the finish line, but let's hope so. Just gonna confirm my opponent. Oh, so mountain. I just want to confirm my opponent that sometimes people have different screen names on Discord and Magic Online. So if you hear me typing, it's just me confirming that I am playing against the correct opponent. So basic mountain, go. Okay, so there's a forest now. Also druids. That's a little bit awkward now for me because I want to make things a little better. Nice. I'm gonna play the Chimeric Idol first. I really would like for my opponent to play a creature. They said their comment was asterisk or star pox question mark. Yeah, I'm a lot less thrilled now to see also druids now that I have. I mean, to get Nether Spirit. My plan was to pox and then put Nether Spirit in the graveyard and then just bring it back. But now that they have Auto Druids, a little different because I expect to have for them to have Nether Goyf. I mean, not Nether Goyf, confusing formats now. For them to have Terravore in their deck. So I have to make a decision here because they're only going to sack 1 land. And I do have a Chimeric Idol. So like basically the point here is like, all right, if I draw a land next turn, then I can play a second Chimeric Idol. Then I actually have a clock or I can pox now, and so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I'm gonna have to discard 2 of them, right? So I can discard both Nether Spirits and then just leave them in the graveyard forever. But then I'm losing a land. I think I'm just gonna do this. I really want to draw a land next turn, and hopefully my land doesn't get blown out. If they destroy the swamp, then it's poxing feels a little better because then sure I'll discard these 2. Oh, actually, hold on a second. I'm dumb. When I cast Pox off Dark Reach, that means I'm only going to have 4 cards. I just have to discard 1 of them, or the 2. They can cast a Terravore, I guess, or they can just destroy my land. I think with Pox also like speeds up the clock a little bit. So maybe I should have done that last turn. I didn't even think about that actually. Mishra's Factory. Okay. Sylvan Library. I guess I'm going to do this then. I have to discard 2 cards. All right, so I'm going to discard those 2. Don't think I want Nether Spirit to ever hit the board against Ultra Druids. Discard a land. I mean, not discard. Sacrifice a land. They are gonna sacrifice 2. Is that correct? I think this deck is still. I think they're playing Incinerator, Lightning Bolt, right? So Chimeric Idol, or maybe they still on Pyroclasms. Don't remember. All right, so they do not want to keep the Mishra's Factory. I'm asking for 3. I think the plan here is to get them to 2 life, draw Curse's Scroll, and then hopefully just win with that. Or if I can just top deck lands for the next 2 turns, or a Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual will be fine too. Dark Ritual into box number 2. Should bring up a calculator playing this deck. All right, so they Treetop Village. What are they gonna cast? Casting something. Maybe like a sphere of something. Oh no, Naturalize. All right, we drew a land. All right, so I do have an answer to Terravore. I don't want to activate Ultra Druids. I think I still have to target, right? I think that's how it works. I'm gonna say no. I guess it's just Innocent Blood. They don't have any cards in hand, so I can't even unmask even if I wanted to. I mean, I can, but you know, not a whole lot to unmask when your opponent doesn't have a mask. So I think that in this order, I need to resolve Chimeric Idol and then Pox. Yeah, I think that makes sense too. Opponent is, I'm at 13 life, so if I don't find an answer to their top village, I'm in trouble. There's no reason to Bauble now, right? So I added the Baubles because of Pox, right? So that way you can quote unquote store cards for the next turn when you don't have to discard for Pox. But in practice, it only happened a couple of times. So I'm not really sure if that's really a good idea, but I liked it. Oh, they forgot to attack. If I'm at 3 life, when this game is over, we know what happened. Land? Ugh, not a Bauble. Unfortunately. I go to 6. All right. Well, see, the dream of like Chimeric Idol and poxing my opponents and still be alive. So if I draw a land and a black card, right, so I just need to draw a land, I guess. Okay. Draw a land. Powder Keg is also relevant, especially since they're trying to attack me with a Treetop Village. Alright, so let's think basically here my best top deck is a basic swamp. Nether Spirit needed to have haste. This other card needed to have. If it was printed in 2025, it would have haste. I guess I have to play Powder Keg. Yeah, they still don't have any cards in hand. That's kind of relevant. There's 6 life, so this game's gonna go a lot longer now. I thought for a second they had turned the corner. I mean, they still fairly ahead with the Sylvan Library activation, but them being 6 life, and since I have a way to deal with Treetop Village, they didn't cast anything. I guess in this case, I'm gonna I get rid of 2 cards. I just grasp. All right, that was a good one. So on my turn, I guess I can kind of roll the dice and try to shoot them for 2 Curse Scroll, unless my land gets destroyed before we get to that point. For them to cast, let's say if they grab Terror of War, right? Then in that case, I have a chance of drawing land and boxing again. Okay, yeah, I think 100% I'm going to do this. I'm at 10 life, right? So let's just try this. They might just have another one. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to wait for them to try to tap my thing, and I'm going to try to target them. Oh, the deck is named Pox, so we're going to try to name Pox. Oh, we got it. Okay. Charcoal Diamond. All right, so let me do the math real quick. So they can swing. So it takes 3 turns for them to kill me with this. Is it better to try to do the same thing again, or to hope to draw land and play another Charcoal Diamond? Oh, if they hesitate, don't do it. That's great for me. They're definitely going to do it. But if they don't, they're not going to do it. Okay, my draw step. That makes sense, right? Because now there's more cards in my hand. Well, then I'm going to need Pox again. I missed it. All right, I guess if I draw Wasteland, I can maybe stop the Reshadon Port or just destroy the Treetop Village. I am running out of time here, but I think if they want to speed up the clock, they're going to have to step in a way that they can't leave up mana for Reshadon Port. Okay, so they took a turn off to do that. I'm just doing this so in case if I draw another Curse Scroll, then maybe there's a scenario that I get to activate a Curse Scroll for lethal. I don't know. Reality is that Duress does not do anything in my hand. Okay. So no land. So I have to do this. I don't think I want to. No, I'm asking with box now. Oh, they have Mishra's Factory too. It's a little late now. All right. Let's go to game 2. So what do I want here? I think I want this card. Probably Nevis Disc and these things. Maybe Nether Spirit's not good now. And Unmask seems not very good against a deck that's trying to. Is Unmask good? No, probably not. I'm not a big fan of discard spells against decks that kind of play to the board. I mean, I guess I can keep the 3 Persecutes. I mean, 3 Duresses. Yeah, I'm like the Duresses in there. Also, like Nether Spirit doesn't even block really well against their deck because their creatures have trample. So I think Sylvan Library is a card here. I don't want to discard. Oh, all right. Yeah, I think I just bauble them on their turn. Sylvan Library. Okay. Mishra's Factory, the one that they drew. Okay. You see the Terror of War that I already knew about. I should probably just Wasteland them. The super aggro plan of Chimeric Idol. So there's a Treetop Village. There's also another card that just drew. Oh, no. Let's play the Powder Keg first, and then we do this. Because the turtle taps all your lands. And I'll be very, very happy if I can draw another land. No, it's kind of like draw another land. And we'll put Curse Scroll. And activate this one. This one's sick, right? So, yeah. No. They are going to cast a Terror Void that's bigger than my creatures. And they decide if they want to, like, Thermal Karst or Terravor. Okay, so they went for Thermal Karst. All right. Okay. So I'm going to leave this as 0. And draw land. I'll look here. And put them as 7. Again, I think the plan here is to kind of like limp my way into like getting them to 0. I think that's... No, they fetch for that one. Okay, that's a 4 that they just played. It's a Terravor. All right. So now I have to hope to draw a land or like Innocent Blood. Land is not bad. Can't really attack, can I? Probably not. I have 4 Innocent Bloods and Dystopia, I guess. That's the Wasteland we saw earlier. Okay. Oh, they're gonna attack. Interesting. Can I please draw an Innocent Blood? That could be kind to me. It's kind of like an Innocent Blood. Just costs 4 mana. Alright, so I'm gonna try to swing for 6 here. Alright, they're at 1. I need to deal 15 damage to me this turn. If I draw land, I think I win the game too. Unless I destroy my swamp before that. The Coffin Purge I think also be very helpful because then I can tag 2 other lands. Not a Terravor. Okay, so I need a land. Is that correct? It is not a land. Okay, guys, I'm gonna attack. Hope for the best. If they have Naturalize, they win too. I do this. I have Crumble, I guess. No? Okay. Oof, that felt pretty close. So Duress was okay. Nevis Disc seems very ambitious. Maybe not a Mask or another. No, Nether Spirit. I wonder if they side out their also Druids. Yeah, I'll keep one Nether Spirit then. Yeah, I think the Nevis Disc, in theory, it seems like very good, but I don't think I'm going to get to resolve and untap with a Nevis Disc. Also, maybe I'm overvaluing Coffin Purge. This is the kind of hand that I wish that I had a Powder Keg. And then I can be the land destruction deck. Duress would have been amazing here. So I think I'm going to wait. Should I wait a turn for the Bauble? No, I think I'm just going to do it right now. Because if I draw a Powder Keg, I think I'm in really good shape. Moment's Peace. Interesting. I haven't seen that card in a long time. Okay. Ah, they drew a land. Okay. Sylvan Library. Okay. Now the Innocent Blood. I'll play the Turtle. Unfortunately, Turtle has this Nombo with Mishra's Factory. Just part of playing Premodern, I guess. So now I care a little less about land destruction. So if they destroy Mishra's Factory, I play another one they destroy. But meanwhile, we can attack with Chimeric Idol. Not attacking Chimeric Idol. And I would like to get a nice 2-for-1 with Pox. So a Terravore? I don't know. Yeah, this Coffin Purge maybe was not a great idea. Maybe I should have anything else. Not gonna do much. All right, so hopefully my opponent just taps, plays Terravore, and they try to activate Mishra's Factory to protect Terravore, and then I cast my second Innocent Blood, and I look like a genius. They took 4 damage. Okay, still in that plan. All right, pay 4 more. Go to 7. Pox, we'll put them at... So if it was 6, would have been 2 life. I actually don't know what the math works out for this one. I'm gonna have to look it up. Or if I look it up, I'm gonna pull up a calculator. Because it rounds up, right? I think most cards like from the era of Magic. So they'll lose 2.3, but you're gonna round up to 3 life. Okay, so I can cast Pox, discard one of these, second land. Awkwardly enough, this Zuran Orb might make a difference. I'm gonna go to 4. I thought it was like naturalized end of turn. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Powder Keg still be a very good draw. Basic Swamp is fine too. Because I mean, they only have 2. Well, they can find lands every turn with this thing. Okay, Wasteland. Wasteland means 2 extra life. Really, it's combat damage though. This is not attacking them. Oh, it's a Duress. Okay. So I need to draw land, I believe. Okay, so it's Powder Keg or like Wasteland, I guess. Dark Ritual doesn't matter because I was thinking if I could activate double Curse of Scroll, but yeah, they're gonna swing for 5 here. Unfortunately, this Innocent Blood is not an instant. I don't know if I have a way to not die in this game. Yeah, I think they still had the Wooded Foothills in their hand. Yeah. Yeah, the Coffin Purge. Yeah, I think that was a mistake, but I don't know if there was any other card that I didn't think Engineer Plagues had like named Mishra's Factory, but that seemed like a stretch. Phyrexian Arena is kind of awkward against decks that attack for a lot. Can they still... Yeah, they can attack for 5, yeah. No, I don't... Maybe they'll just save it. All right. GG's my opponent. They found the line. Let's see. Yeah, so I was thinking... So if instead of Coffin Purge... Oh, here's my sideboard. What did I say? I Persecute. No, Persecute is like... it has to be like... It has to come down really... I have to cast it really early in the game. Because the deck is basically mono green. Oh, I was trying to look at my sideboard. Well, anyways, Magic Online had different plans for me. I'll see you guys here for round 3. All right, so here for round 3. What's my opponent? Oh, right here. So we had a close game. A close match, I think, last round. But still, no doubt. Oh, Magic Online had my sideboard from the last game that I had up here. Looks like I'm going to play again. I should have been playing a combo deck, I guess, this league. All right, I'm going to keep this one. Hopefully I don't see... Well, I guess even if I have Also Druids, I can Duress them. Now, it is a little awkward to have 2 Nether Spirits in hand because they don't do too well in pairs, or really more than one. Oh, this is cool. All right. So they're playing Mono Black Aggro. I don't know if you're allowed to say the name that we used to use in the 90s for this deck. So was that a card they had? It was the Dothis Layer. That's what it is. Okay. It'd be cool if they had another one. Ooh, Skittering Scourge. Okay. Skittering Scourge could be a problem. I don't have any flyers, and they're gonna dress me first. Okay. That's way better. Play a Swamp. Okay. All right. We're gonna go to 18. That's very good, actually. Oh, but they have Wasteland, so I think I'm just gonna play Nether Spirit and then Cabal Therapy away the Scourge. So what is it? It's double T, right? Sorry, when I'm typing here, I usually can do okay. It's just that I have my microphone right in front of my keyboard. So, all right, so I think I'm probably just gonna get Wastelanded. And my hope here is that I just draw another land, and then Curse's Scroll can kind of take care of any creature that they play afterwards. Because I think all the creatures have like 2 toughness or less. I'm gonna play Valley of Gorgoroth. This one, I mean, bring it back. I'll play a Curse's Scroll, and I could Dark Ritual and kill this. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't think they're gonna pay 1, right? No. Okay. So then I'm not gonna do anything. But if they play a better target, Lake of the Dead. I haven't seen that card in a while. Okay. Well, let's kill the one that's tapped. Nether Spirit. Okay, so we drew a land. Okay. So I think now I'm in good shape, unless I draw too many cards that I can't cast. Now I don't remember if they play any removal spells. They might play some kind of edict effect. I was wondering if I should have played a second Nether Spirit, but I don't think so. Right, so I'm gonna, it's Hatred Z plus X. I know it's not. I was like, did I just lose the game? Because I didn't. Should have checked that before. All right, so they're gonna go to 13. Virtual 11 because of Curse's Scroll on the Carnophage. Okay. Nether Spirit. Okay. To make sure I don't type Nether Shadow. And I know it's kind of silly. I'm playing like Melon before combat, like, but I don't think it matters in this game. In case you haven't noticed in my videos, I'm a big fan of the F6 value when there's not a whole lot going on. It seems like they drew Duress, and they probably checked the cards that were revealed. And all right, so I'm just gonna target them. Can I just copy and paste this? Actually, I don't know if you can do that on Magical Line. Can you do this? No. Of course not. I was like, accidentally just break Magical Line and it stops working. Is this better? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's better to just use Curse's Scroll. No, I need to empty my hand anyways. So I'll still play Powder Keg. Because now I could activate and swing for, yeah. Then that way I have lethal on board. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think it's another deck that I'm not sure if I want these. All right. So I think I'm going to bring Nevis Disc, and I think these are okay. I'm bringing Plague Engineer Plague. I keep saying Plague Engineer Plague. I guess I'll bring a Cabal Therapy. And then Hatred. I was actually pretty close, like, because I think if they went for the Skittering Scourge that turn instead of casting Duress, I could have easily lost that game. Carnophage. Okay, so we'll play Curse's Scroll. I think Bauble can kind of hang out for a second now. It's kind of scary that they can just Dark Ritual, and Hatred kill you. It said like Bauble can hang out, but I think I should think I want to draw a Wasteland. Okay, that was actually kind of helpful to know. I guess it's just Innocent Blood. I don't know how many. I was thinking about like just naming zombies with Engineer Plague, but I don't even know if that's super relevant, because I think the shadow creatures might be a bigger issue. Yeah, that's a Wasteland that I saw off the... Where's this Bauble? Oh, they do have Hatred now. Sweet. That is a very 90s pre-modern kill. Okay. All right, so maybe I need to keep Duresses in. A Persecute on turn 2 named Black. Seems so cool. But I think the Engineer Plagues are not very good. So maybe I'll do like this. It's pretty sweet. Hatred is one of those cards that like I've been... Every once in a while, I see a list or I play against some Magical Line, and I'm like, I think I'm just going to buy this card and try it out. But then I can't justify the price of the card in paper. But all right, so my opponent kept their hand. I'm going to play the Bauble. I'm going to shoot here for the turn 2 Persecute. We do have a Hatred in hand. All right, that's good to know. Oh, it's not it. All right, so I think I'm going to have to Dark Ritual it out, the Chimeric Idol, and I'll play this Curse's Scroll. All right, so I need to block whatever they attack here. Okay, they went for the Lake of Dead. Do I just play safe here? I think I do, right? Because like I said, I think most of their creatures are, I'll probably say like all of them only have like 2 or less toughness. I think now it's safe for me to attack, right? I can just mop up the zombie token if I want with a Powder Keg. Do another land. I guess it's dangerous if they have Dark Ritual 2 creatures. Oh man. Did I call my opponent's play? Oh, Duress. Okay. All right. So I think it'd be really hard for them to cast Hatred anytime soon. And I think I'm not going to take any chances here. I'm just going to kill this Slayer now. Play this one. I should have played after, but I think it really matters. You just attack with the turtle. Did I take 1 point of damage from this? I'll play a Powder Keg. Oh, I had in my head that I was going to activate first and I completely forgot. So I did miss some 2 points of damage here. Unlikely it's going to matter, but they would have been a 7 life now. Skittering Scourge. Okay. Yep. Put a 1. Target this thing. If I know how to spell Dark Ritual, this becomes a creature. They have 2 cards in hand. One of them we know it doesn't matter because it's a Hatred for now. Now let's start Command C. Unfortunately, I can't kill that now because I put it at 1. They take 2 damage off of those things, right? So GG's. All right, cool. Yeah, I think that it's most likely they didn't have an answer to Curse Scroll unless they had their own Powder Kegs. I don't think there's any other way for mono black. So their plan is probably just like to try to kill me before Curse Scroll becomes active. But cool. Close games here. We'll see you guys here for round 4. All right, so we're back here for round 4. I'm gonna play Lenny again. I say again because I think my last video was the one with the bouncy mono blue deck. And I am not going to be able to play on this round. Nah, YOLO. All right, so and he kept a 6. Is it elves? Okay, so I think we're just going to play Curse Scroll. I'm going to play Bauble. Oh, hang on a second. Shoot. Okay, maybe I should have thought about this. Curse Scroll, I don't want to blow up Curse Scroll Powder Keg, so maybe they just naturalize my Curse Scroll and I feel a little less worse. Okay. Guess I can swing for 1. I think we're just gonna bauble them. Let's see what they got. Sylvan Library. Okay, it's a very good one. I'll play Powder Keg. Yeah, this number with Powder Keg and Curse Scroll is not a good idea. Oh well, no, I'm definitely gonna have to do this. Okay, Deranged Hermit. Let me see. So if I put up to 1, kill it, they don't have enough to pay for this. Is that correct? Then they only gonna have 2, 3, 4 mana. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. It'd be really, really nice if I could draw a swamp. I just realized too that like I haven't played any black spells yet, so like I don't know. There's a chance that Laney doesn't even think I'm playing black. Be funny if I lose like this in the game 2. Just like, all right, here's a Plague Engineer. All right, let's play this thing. I'm still at 14. I think I'm still okay-ish. Let me see. So if I draw Pox, I guess I could Dark Ritual out Pox, discard Innocent Blood, and then activate Curse Scroll like in one of the creatures. I think that's the plan. I'm sorry, I just realized that this board still makes noise when it's not on. So they pay 4. Okay. Is it 4 that they paid? Yeah, they kept a card. This one destroys artifacts or enchantments. Sweet. You can boss a forest and tap priest, make 3 more mana. Well, 4. Yeah, 3, 4. Okay. What if do they have this forest in paper? I'm assuming they have it, right? Obviously not as a Magical Line promo. So Vigilante goes to the graveyard. Okay. I wonder if it was just better for me to hide the extra information. I have Anger. Okay. So it's going to discard Anger, grab Wirewood Symbiote. Okay. So I guess max for 4. Yeah, I think this game is over now. Like, I think Lane can just attack for 4. And I can block or... So there's a swamp. Oh, Innocent Blood though. Let's see what happens. Okay. Then I can Dark Ritual and target this thing. I might just give me extra information for this. You know what? Yes, I think I'm just gonna... You know what? I'm just gonna go to game 2. Alright, so we got this. I'm definitely gonna try to do this. And I guess Coffin Purge. It's kind of like my goal for this league to like get someone to Persecute at least once. Yeah, I think I wonder like Coffin Purge, of course, because it's squee. Let's see, can I? Oh, I guess. Did it take my sideboarding? It did, but not. Okay. All right. I think this one is reasonable. If I want a Bauble now, probably not yet. A Guy's Cradle now. Usually that's when it starts with the turn that there's a Guy's Cradle coming down for. So I think now I have to do this, right? They're playing forests in their deck. Oh, okay. Maybe I should have mulliganed into a hand that has Engineer Plagues. Maybe just being lazy with my mulligans, but I thought like, no, Dark Ritual and lands was, if I draw any of my sideboard cards, I would have a good shot here at stabilize the game. All right, so what are we going to get with survival? My line is deep in the tank. All right, they found a symbiote. I assume that's the same forest that I saw. If not, I'll just say it is. The Wirewood symbiote? I mean, 2 mana. Okay, all right, so this, okay. Guess I can find Hermit, the Range Hermit, yeah. All right, Mishra's Factory. I need top deck a Perish off the top of my deck that I forgot to put in my 75. So I think now is the point that they can get a hasty, not hasty, but it is, no, Cabal, no, you have my Granger, is that what it's called? Okay, so there's some 12/12s, I mean 4/4s, yeah, block one of them. Doesn't look like that's going to be enough. I can kill one of them, but so lesson learned. I guess I should have probably mulligan a little more aggressive to a hand that could cast like Plague Engineer. I mean, it's hard to say, right? They had 3 cards in their hand that I don't think I've ever saw what they had in their hand, so could might as well be a naturalized, but still I think that was what I should have done maybe. I'm usually kind of lazy to mulligan in paper because you have to shuffle your deck. But on Magic Online, there's no excuse not to do that. So they didn't have Genesis and Squeeze, so okay. I don't think I have enough blockers for all that, right? I think it was pretty safe to attack with the Deranged Hermit too, but all right. We'll see you guys here for round 5. Yeah. All right, so here for round 5. Sorry, I'm trying to get more game space on the screen than chat space. Yeah, I think the only thing that can make this hand better is if I have Nether Spirit. Kind of want to like get more value out of this box, right? I want to let's kill a creature. Because now I'll have to sack. Let's see. So I'm gonna use 2-3 cards. I have 4 left. Yeah, maybe makes sense. All right, so we're gonna cast Pox, and I mean I get more cards out of their hands like this, right? Oh, it's goblins. Okay, it's joblins. It's a pile driver. All right, cool. Not a Pox. So maybe well, I mean I didn't know it. I just saw Bloodstained Mire. I was wondering if they could discard in my hands. So I think this is like one of those games. Kind of like that matchup against the mono black aggro deck. I can get them to have less creatures in play than Curse's Crow maybe can take over the game, but I don't know if I have time because I'm already at 8. So if I draw a land here, I feel like I've been saying that a lot. Maybe I should just play more lands. Oh, that worked out. All right, so let's kill this guy. Let's kill the War Chief. Then I could use Powder Keg to kill this one. If they play another Goblin, I can Curse's Crow my upkeep. I guess the problem would be like if they land a card like Siege Gang Commander, then I'll be in trouble. Log Fanatic. Okay, so I'm gonna do like this. Yeah, I'm gonna take 1. And it's funny because like if the target's not there, you don't even have to name a card. I don't actually know if that's how it works IRL, but that's how it works on Magic Online. So again, if the target's not there for Curse's Crow, you don't have to name something. So I'll probably have to ask a judge if that's how the ruling works in paper. We know Magic Online is not perfect, but I'll be curious to know what's the answer, because I guess it could make a difference, right? Like, no, you don't want to give extra information. A Sharpshooter. Okay, so I guess I just have to do this too. I think I'll take 1 because they play a bigger creature. Sharpshooter is not that big of a deal. It's just like 1 point of damage. Goblin Matron. All right, so now I do this, right? Because I don't want them to get the extra point of damage. If I try to kill Matron, then I get to untap the Sharpshooter. All right, so they're deciding what they're going to search. I'm assuming it's going to be like a ringleader, something that can refill their hand. I just mark fanatic. Okay, I guess they recognize they're also like a MF5 life, and that might be enough damage. I don't think it really matters which one I try to kill. Okay, turtle is pretty good. All right, I'm gonna take one. Please just draw land this time, opponent. Don't play another creature. Oh, another matron. Okay, that's what they're gonna get this time. Is it another fanatic? They might just do it. Oh no, I can block here. All right, so opponent's just, I guess, thinking, but like, I can't block two creatures because of how Chimeric Idol works. Yeah, so I can block one and then take 2 and 3. Yeah, against goblins, Duress and therapy is okay. Definitely one engineer plague. I guess I'll bring the 2 persecutes and this. Yeah, I'll try not to make the same mistake I made in the matchup against elves. Maybe see if I can mulligan it into a engineer plague. Yeah, I don't think about another Nevis disc. But I think one is enough. The therapies are okay against cards like Ringleader, Goblin Matron. It becomes like a 1-mana removal. So, I don't. If I had a swamp here, like trying to hit a Dark Ritual off of 2 baubles, maybe would be something I could try to do. Like I really want to be able to cast a Persecute on turn 2 against goblins would be pretty good, but I don't think I can keep that one. Oh, this one's way better. All right. I think I'm just gonna put the Bauble back. Yeah, Mog Fanatic. I think I'm just gonna take the damage, right, and then Engineer Plague away that. Just black and red goblins, so maybe they don't have Naturalize in their deck. Okay, Pile Driver. I just sack this in response, right? Yeah. Okay. And then Goblin. All right. So if they place another Goblin that survives Plague Engineer, right? Not Plague Engineer, Engineered Plague. Sorry, I mean say a contemporary magic card. Then I think I just Innocent Blood and Curse Scroll the other one. Do I want to Pox here? So if I Pox, I sack a land, discard a card. Is that how this works? So Pox, discard this one. Then I still have those 2. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do this. Basically get to play an untapped land. Right, so I'm gonna discard this. I think that's the only time that the math for Pox was easy for me. It's only 3 3s and 3s. So it's just 1. For some reason, I keep thinking that's like Doomsday, that's half, but it's not. It's like it's 1/3. All right. Then I have to sack 1 land. Okay. Then I'll play up land and we do this. All right. So I should be able to just not ping, but curse score whatever they cast or play. Yeah, they're probably thinking maybe just shot and port me. A Wasteland will be a pretty good draw here. That's okay-ish. All right, so now I have a big blocker. Big because I don't know. Most of the creatures are not bigger than 2 power. So they're at 12. Probably just port me again, right? If they're not gonna use their mana. Cool. Oh, Smother. Okay. Did not expect to see that. But since they have City of Brass, I expect them to have an answer to Engineer Plague in game 2. Or I'm sorry, game 3. If we go to game 3. I think I should do this and then this. I think that this makes more sense. They're 8 life, so Curse Scrolling for the win might be my best bet here. Yeah, I'll put Powder Keg at 2. Okay. Actually, drawing land is a fantastic draw here because I can Curse Scroll them and just play a land next turn and keep having just 1 card in my hand. Palm's Narrator for cycling. Okay. There is 7, so if the Cedar Brass makes somehow gets them to 6, then trying to figure out the Pox. If I draw another Pox, it is 2 life, 3 mana. Oh, okay, interesting. Do I put Powder Keg at stay at 2 or 3? I think 3 makes more sense because it's hasty creatures, I guess. All right, so Mishra's Factory obviously is not amazing here because they have Reshad on port, but if that makes them tap out, oh, cool. All right, so we're gonna go to game 3. I don't know about Nevis Disc. It seems like so. I don't know if this card is like pre-modern playable, really. I don't know if I have better options either. I mean, I could have 3 Duresses instead of the Nevinyrral and the Cabal Therapies. No, Therapy is okay. I think it's still... Yeah, I'm going to keep the same configuration. Man, it's so close to what I want to do. I get 1 redraw with the Bauble. But like the thing is, they're on the play too. So like, I don't even know if like... Oh, yeah, I'll keep this one, I guess. I feel like it's important for me to have an answer to Lackey on turn 1. That's a Mag Fanatic. Alright, so they discard Smother Vorus Stronghold. Okay, didn't expect Stronghold. I guess I did, right? They're playing black, so they should have some kind of recurring effect. Swamp, and yeah, I don't want to expose Mishra's Factory to like a Wasteland. Really would like to draw an Engineered Plague next turn. Cabal Therapy, I guess, would be fine here too. Oh, so close. I guess I'll attack. This swing, I'll be happy to trade my Chimeric Idol with their Goblin Pile Driver. What is Pile Driver going to reveal? Ooh. Just a Lackey. Okay. That's the cost of playing non-goblins in a goblins deck, right? Makes Ringleader a little worse to decide if they want to attack. Again, if they attack with the team, I'll definitely trade this with this. I'll take 3, go to 9, and they're not going to attack. All right. Pox is not exactly what I was looking for. I guess I'll just attack for 3. They do have a Lackey that they can play. I'm going to set a card in their hand because they do have one card that I think they never cast so far. Okay, so I'm going to take a go to 4. You can play Goblin Lackey, I guess. Double Bolt. All right, so that's Fanatic. They do not want to play the... They have Pyrokinesis in their hand. So if I cast Pox, they sack 1 creature. Do I just die in the swing back? I think if I had another mana to activate Mishra's Factory, it would make sense, right? Because this... Actually, hold on a sec. This Pox just killed me here. Like, thinking with Fanatic. If I cast Pox, they sack one of these guys. I attack with Chimeric Idol. They block a Fanatic and then shoot me. Yeah, I think if I had another land, it could work, right? Alright, that was good. It was a 2-for-1. So I have to block these 2. I think that does it. Alright, so this blocks here, but then I block here and take 4. Yeah. Alright, it was a pretty close game. We'll see you guys here for round 6. The 6th and final round. Looks like I'll be on the play. And all right. I could use Bauble as a way to get some extra info. Let's see. I don't have like no lands after that, and I do get a redraw, but I think it's gonna pass here. Days would be kind of bad here, but if it's okay, they didn't have anything. So double blue. Is this feels like it's Dreadnought, but no. Let's see what we're playing against. That doesn't really give me any information. What do I want to do here? I could just therapy and name like counter spell, I guess. All right. Well, if there's any consolation, I was gonna name the right thing. So it would be really bad, but I could next turn. Let's say if they are playing Dreadnought, I can animate Chimeric Idol, discard whatever they got, and then cast Pox, right? Oh, Stasis. Ooh, okay. Okay. That's really bad. I don't know if I can I get out of this one? Do they have at least one more island, right? Because they bounce back with Traverse Ruins. I'm just gonna assume it's one of those islands. Okay. It's gonna be a long one. I can probably just always yield this one. Make the game go a little faster and stasis usually don't go hand in hand. So the Chain of Vapors, bounce back the stasis, replay stasis. All right, so we got stasis for another at least 3 turns. I think I'm actually going to go to 8 cards here and just discard my Nether Spirit. The next one I can play a Swamp. Because, I mean, I'm not losing until they put a Black Vice in play. So I just realized that the game my opponent made had more time on the clock than the regular games that we play in the league. I don't think it's a big deal, but... Yeah, I guess I'm just going to pass. Do I attack? I guess we attack. So they were at 8 cards too. I guess a card that doesn't do anything. Yep. No, that's my point if they did that. All right. Yeah, they did set a longer clock, but all right. I don't think I need to have all this boxes here. Or the Curse Scroll. Curse Scroll is going to be really hard for me to get to work with. Actually, those two. And well, all right. So I think the best thing I can do here is to, I guess, to wait until they have less cards in hand. I mean, less mana open. Do I just name Chain of Vapors? I'm gonna gush. Okay. They probably have foil then. Alright. I guess I'll just pass again. Yeah, if they have a Chain of Vapors, I think this game might just be virtually over. So I get back Nether Spirit. I'm trying to see if there's any way I can... If I draw Duress... I think if I draw Duress and I get Pox to resolve, then maybe I can get them their life total low enough that I can attack for lethal. Let me see what they got going on there. Not a foil. Oh, not foil. I'm sorry, thwart. All right, then I guess I'm just gonna go my attack phase. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of hard to comment on this game because there's not a whole lot going on, right? We're playing against stasis, so it's like, I think my path to victory here is to either draw another Duress and resolve, maybe another Cabal Therapy. This Cabal Therapy also gets me like another attack with another Spirit. It's kind of like the best I can think of here. Root Maze. Root Maze is an old school stasis deck. Not as old as Kismet, but it is symmetrical though, which is important for this game state. Any lands that I draw after this will come into play tapped. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to do this and... So this actually represents 6 points of damage if this resolves. I mean, sorry, it's plus Pox, right? But like, I sack Nether Spirit. So, oh, hold on a second. Artifacts and lands. Okay, so the creatures would come to play untapped. So Nether Spirit will get sacked. Okay, they have a thwart. All right. So I guess I need to draw another Dark Ritual, I guess. And let me see. Is it worth trying to keep playing this game? Maybe I should just go to game 2. Because I haven't seen a win con from them yet. So this will not be able to sacrifice because it will come to play tapped. I need Dystopia to also kill blue permanents. Yeah, if I had maybe like 2 more lands untapped, maybe I'll go for the Innocent Blood. Now sack Nether Spirit comes back, swing again, but I think with 2 mana, I really need to draw Dark Ritual. I don't even know if that's enough too when I'm thinking about it. Because so Dark Ritual, Pox, you know, keep playing my lands. They would also discard some cards. I don't know if it's super relevant. I guess it is because of, well, maybe not right because of Forsaken City, but yeah, let's see. So they'll go to 9 life. Is that correct? I'm gonna wait for the Duress or Cabal Therapy, but I don't think it's enough though. They go to 9. I lose Nether Spirit, but I'm gonna tap a land too. So I don't know if maybe I just have to draw multiple dark. I mean, there's only 1 more Dark Ritual in my deck, so Gush. Well, Gush doesn't really. I guess makes they have more cards in hand to discard, but they don't have. I don't think I'm gonna cast multiple Poxes in this game. So they do have 2 Chain of Vapors. I don't know if I can beat that. Yeah, Cabal Therapy would have been way better. All right. I'm just gonna cast Pox and see what happens. I discard 2 cards. Can easily discard these 2. I go to 8. I sacrifice this guy and 4 lands. All right, I got some lands to discard. There you go. So they discarded 2 islands. Is that what it is? Chain of Vapors I took with Unmask. And then they probably just sacrifice some random islands or Travis Ruin. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna be enough, right? Because it's close. Like I said, I could get the Nether Spirit back. Maybe they just bounce stages right now. So Black Vice got removed. I wonder how many Black Vices they're playing. I guess it's in kind of like an automatic autopilot, but I think that's correct, right? Because if they Chain of Vapors stasis, then I'll take stasis from their hand. If they don't, then I just take Chain of Vapors, and then this game's gonna go on forever. All right, so Chain of Vapors. Oh no, did they? Oh, they already discarded both Black Vices. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pass, I guess. Then interesting game of Magic. It does get a little interesting now because if I draw a discard spell and I cash them with a spell in hand instead of an island like they had it here. Oh no, they're gonna have 2 cards in hand. I don't know how to math. I guess I'm gonna attack. Put them at 6. Still. So if they play a land, so they have to play a land and have a spell in hand. Then I can possibly duress a spell out of their hand and they don't have a way to untap Forsaken City. And then Stasis dies, and then I get to untap. Okay. Another Dark Ritual might do it too, because then I know I discarded the Innocent Blood, right? So I guess we have to be Dark Ritual plus Pox, and then sack 2 more lands, untap this thing, and then I could attack with Nether Spirit and a Mishra's Factory. Okay, so I really need them to play a land then. Is that what it is? Duress. Fortunately, I really have to think about when to fire off this Duress. I mean, Powder Keg is also relevant, right? Because let's say, assuming they're playing 4 Black Vices, Powder Keg can kill them. So, and I have more cards in my deck than they have, so that could be relevant. I guess I'm gonna pick up a land. It doesn't really change anything, right? It's Pox. All right, I guess a Dark Ritual plus Pox would win the game, because then they lose 3 life, and then I have Mishra's Factory plus Nether Spirit to try to win the game. I guess lose to a Daze. Let's see. I do have an Unmask in the deck, so that's another card that could be helpful here. I could turn one of those Duresses into a free Duress. Guys, Blasting got exiled. Okay, that was a gush. That changes everything. Well, does it change anything? Because I guess I just have more cards for them to exile to Forsaken City, but they keep playing their lands too. Chimeric Idol. Oh no, it'll come into play tapped. Never mind. It's like a 3 power creature when your opponent's at 3 life. It's pretty powerful, but it's a Dark Ritual. Let me see. Do I wait to try to find another Unmask? No, I think I'm gonna be patient here because they only have 9 cards left in their deck too. So let's say if they do. Oh, I just realized that the Powder Keg it would come into play tapped, so I can't kill Black Vice. I just realized that. Now we can play the Bauble. Another way that I can maybe get to that is if I draw another Nether Spirit and discard it, and then I put another one in play, then I could cast a Dark Ritual and activate both factories and swing for 6 with a second Nether Spirit. Which, I mean, with 14 cards in the deck, like, it's possible that I can draw anything that's left in my deck, right? So Black Vice got exiled too. So 3 of them. Interesting. Cool thing about Pox, it also like reduced the number of cards in my hand, so Black Vice gets a little worse. What a long game one. A Chain of Vapors. Okay. So I think, I said, I think I'm just looking for Unmask or the second Nether Spirit. Nether Spirit because I can discard it, and then I could possibly Dark Ritual and then swing for 6. I think that's one way to get there. Pox would also be pretty good. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's my last Dark Ritual, the one I'm looking at. Charcoal Diamond. I don't even know why I'm holding on to that. Oh, it's like, no. Majority of my cards, the cards I have in my hand are like uncastable or don't have any text right now. Yeah. Oh, I can discard that. I just realized that. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough in the microphone. So what cards they could have that can counter my Pox? Thwart was one of them. Daze doesn't do it. Oh, this is gonna let it die. Black Vice. Okay. I'll take 3 damage. Okay. Wow, that was a long ass game. I guess I'm gonna bring Nevis Disc, which is not great, and then it's a GG. I guess Innocent Blood is not. It's not really. They're asking if we can play the second game. If it was meant to be 25 minutes. I mean, it's not great, but since I'm recording, I rather get the content than like, oh, they consider before I could reply. Okay, so if we're gonna play the game too, that's what I was gonna do here. There's no, I don't think Dystopia is great. It only kills, as far as I know, the root maze. But maybe it's better than Curse's Scroll. Curse's Scroll is like not great against stasis. All right, so looks like we went 2 and 4. I think we had some really close games. There was definitely room for improvement on this list. Let me pull up the list again. So what I was trying to do here was, in a way, kind of like mimic the old like Pox decks that I remember seeing as a kid, and then I also try to like borrow some elements that, like, when I tried to play Pox in Legacy, like, back in 2009, with Chimeric Idol, in Legacy, sometimes would splash white for cards like Vindicate and Gerard's Verdict. But we also have fetch lands and scrub lands, which we don't have that in Premodern. And I thought splashing a second card would be more of a liability than an improvement. And like I mentioned in the deck tech portion of the video, I didn't want to just put the rack in the deck, because then I feel like I'm just playing a worse version of Pit Rack, and I kind of want to play something different than Pit Rack. But I think the reasoning behind Baubles was so you can kind of quote unquote store cards for after you cast Pox. So let's say if you have, I don't know, 1 or 2 cards in hand, you cast Pox, but you crack a Bauble, so next turn you kind of have a redraw. I thought the idea was okay. I did lower the land count. I still have 20 lands, which is kind of like what decks back in the 90s used to play. It was about like 20 lands and then 40 spells. In this list, we have the 3 charcoal diamonds, which in testing, they were very good. A lot of times I was able to keep hands that had 2 lands and then a charcoal diamond. Then when you cast a Pox, you lose a land, but the second Pox usually was a little better because of the diamonds. And in the sideboard, I think Coffin Purge was not good at all. I didn't play against anything like Hermit Fab or anything like this, or decks that rely heavily on the graveyard, so maybe that's why I'm saying this. But it's possible I should just play a card like Tormod's Crypt or Phyrexian Furnace. The other 2 things was like the 2 Nevis disc were just not good at all. I think it pains me to say this, but I don't think that it's a Premodern card. Nevis disc, I think, is just like not good. I played in mono black control, but I don't think that's very good. I think there's better options. So in those 2 slots, maybe a 4th Engineer Plague I think would be better. And I know I joked a little bit during the league, but I think maybe a card like Perish might be good, because decks that go wide definitely have a hard for this deck to deal with. So yeah, I think 4 copies of Engineer Plague might be better, and then these 3 things could just be 3 Phyrexian Furnaces. Persecute, again, there's another card that, like, when I was testing a little bit before recording the league, it was a good card. And that one game against Goblins, I thought it was good. If I wasn't so behind, I think Persecute would have been very, very good in that game. But I just didn't really get to see it. Phyrexian Arena, it's a card that, again, in testing, it was good against the blue-white X decks, right? Anything that was slower, that doesn't really pressure life total. And there is a little bit of attention for Phyrexian Arena plus Pox, right? Because if you cast this one, your life total already kind of gets low, and Phyrexian Arena doesn't help you with that. And I don't have any way to gain life in this list, which maybe is an issue. Maybe I should be playing some kind of like, I'm going to mess up the name of the card, but Rejuvenating Chamber. Was it Rejuvenation Chamber? I think that's what it was called. Oh, I should have known the name of the card. I played it like in the field decks already. Anyways, but it is a card that gains life and has fading. So maybe that should be here somewhere in the sideboard. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Again, Pox is not the same deck that you could play in the 90s, because we're missing cards like Himtrak, Vampiric Tutor, Yawgmoth's Will, or Demonic Consultation. But I think it's probably replayable in this format. Just needs a little tinkering. This list it's kind of like something that I wanted to try. Pox, Chimeric Idol, Curse's Scroll, like all cards that I just wanted to try to see if they can work. And I think it was pretty close, some of those games, some of those matches. So I think there's something there. Again, just some of the cards that I mentioned on the sideboard here that definitely were not at the didn't perform the way I thought they're going to perform. Just really slow and very low impact. And when you play a deck that doesn't have any cantrips or any ways to manipulate your deck, you have to have cards that when you cast them, if they resolve, they should have an impact in the game that like gets you to the win, right? Anyways, as always, thanks for watching. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below. For this deck, please also leave me some suggestions. Just remember, when you suggest a card, kind of suggest like, what would you take out? Don't just go like, oh, you should play this card. But yeah, where are you going to fit it? So just remember, keep that in mind when you're suggesting cards. It is 75. So one card has to come out for the other one to get in. And with that, I'll see you guys for the next Premodern video.